Touchline editorial. So we are going to have a discussion about the UEFA Champions League. The draw has finally been made, and we now know the teams that are playing in the knockout phase. With the knockout phase, the game starts from 17th of February and the 18th of February, and also the 24th and the 25th of February. So we stand a chance to see some exciting games coming up. So this is going to be a breakdown of every knockout phase game that is going to happen, and also the possibilities of these teams meeting some of the big teams from the top 8. I'm going to break everything down for you, and I'm going to predict which teams I'm also predicting to go through from this knockout phase. Remember, this show is brought to you by MyBet.Africa. On the screen, you can see the QR code. You scan and you register and be part of the MyBet.Africa family. Use the code TTPOD to get a free 10 Ghana cedis and stand the chance to also place your bet on MyBet.Africa in this UCL knockout games coming up. So let's look at some of the games that were being drafted, and also what are the possibilities of some of the teams going on to the quarterfinals and also getting to the semi-final. So with the games happening, Dortmund will be hosting, that is Atlanta, and with that game would be a very crunchy game for Dortmund. Dortmund and Atlanta are one of the two teams, especially when it comes to this Champions League, has been very disappointing. We all know Borussia Dortmund being that team that performs so well in the Champions League. But with this particular playoffs, they are looking at getting a first home game at the Signal Iduna is something that is going to boost their game, especially visiting Italy. Atlanta has been a force in Italy, trying to get a good performance. And these teams, I'm tipping Borussia Dortmund going ahead of Atlanta in the two-legged games. The next game would be Benfica against Real Madrid. The first game we played at Benfica, the similar scoreline that helped Benfica to enter into the knockout phase. Real Madrid will go there and have a revenge against them. I'm tipping the first league game ending in a 1-1. But I'm seeing Real Madrid qualifying ahead of Benfica in the return leg at the Santiago Bernabeu. The next game that we played is an all-French game, Monaco against Paris Saint-Germain. We all remember that Paris Saint-Germain had a chance to play, that is Brest, from the last knockout stage, similar in this particular round, and they defeated Brest by 10 goals to 2 in aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain against Monaco is going to be a very difficult game, and I'm tipping Paris Saint-Germain to qualify, especially getting the second league game at the Parc de France, which is going to boost their winnings. Galatasaray against Juventus is another fixture that is also going to come up in this particular game. And these two teams have met in European finals back in those days. I'm tipping Juventus going ahead, but I'm looking at this game going to extra and also penalty shootout in Italy. That is something that is going to boost Juventus' chances of also qualifying for the next round. The next game is going to be Olympiacos against Bayern Leverkusen. Olympiacos has been a force in this Champions League, getting points against some of the crucial teams. Bayern Leverkusen has been an on and off pitch in this Champions League round, and with them going away on their first game and also playing the second league game at home, I'm tipping Bayern Leverkusen to qualify ahead of Olympiacos in this fixture. Bodo Glimt against Inter Milan. You should highlight this particular game because Bodo Glimt at home have defeated Manchester City, and they also went on to defeat Atletico Madrid. So they are on a run of beating some of the big teams in the Champions League, and I'm tipping a team in Bodo Glimt to try and get that particular first league game win at home, and when they visit Italy, Inter Milan will get a chance. This is the only fixture that I think Bodo Glimt can go ahead of Inter Milan, depending on the scoreline they get at home. But looking at on paper and on record, Inter Milan are likely to go through in this particular game. The next game is Karabakh against Newcastle. They've been a difficult customers, especially visiting England, having a 2-2 draw with another English club in Chelsea. Karabakh will be that force to reckon with, and I'm tipping Newcastle with a performance against Paris Saint-Germain, the defending champions. They are going to go to Karabakh, pick a win, and also come to St. James Park and also pick a win against them. Club Brugge against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid has been a very good team in the Champions League, going to 2 finals and not winning. But this particular game, I'm tipping Club Brugge to win at home, and Atletico in the return leg at the Wanda Metropolitano picking and also win. So this game may be very dicey, another dicey game to the Bodo Glimt against Inter Milan game. So looking at this game, I'm tipping Atletico Madrid to qualify ahead of Club Brugge. So after this, there will be chances of anyone from the Dortmund Atlanta game may get a chance to face either Arsenal or Bayern Munich, similar to the Olympiacos Bournemouth Bayern Leverkusen game. One of them would also going to meet Arsenal or Bayern Munich. So we are likely to see either an all Germany quarterfinals game, either Dortmund against Bayern Munich or Bayern Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. And last season, we saw a Bayern Munich against Bayern Leverkusen, which Bayern Munich walked over them. So Bayern Munich fans will be expecting to meet a team in Bayern Leverkusen. The next round would be either Benfica, Real Madrid against Sporting, Manchester City, and also Inter Milan, Bordeaux Glimt against Sporting and Manchester City. And with this, we are likely to see a Manchester City Real Madrid game again in the Champions League. And I think this time Manchester City would like to do the best against a team in Real Madrid, and likely an Inter Milan against Sporting. So in this fixture, likely a Sporting Inter Milan or a Sporting Real Madrid is also a likeliest option to happen. I'm tipping Real Madrid against Manchester City and also a Sporting Lisbon against Inter Milan. With the next round of game, Aston Villa, Paris Saint-Germain may meet either Chelsea or that is Barcelona, or Karabakh and Newcastle may meet either Chelsea or Barcelona. Barcelona had a chance to play Newcastle already, and they'll be tipping to meet them again because they've got a good result at St. James Park, and they're looking at them. If they are getting the two-legged games at St. James and Camp Nou, they can walk over a team in that is Newcastle, as I'm tipping them to qualify. Paris Saint-Germain would like a revenge against Chelsea from the FIFA Club World Cup, so likely a Paris Saint-Germain-Chelsea quarter-final game. Paris Saint-Germain had a chance to also meet Barcelona, and they beat them. So Paris Saint-Germain would like to meet either of Barcelona or Chelsea because of one, Barcelona, they've been able to defeat them in a Champions League game, and also Chelsea, a revenge for them. The same as Monaco, Newcastle. Newcastle would also be looking at meeting this English rival in Chelsea to also beat them. So this particular side would give us an exciting fixture going into that particular quarterfinal game. Galatasaray, Juventus would either meet Tottenham Hotspur or Liverpool, similar to Atletico Madrid and Club Brugge also meeting either Liverpool or Tottenham Hotspur. Atletico has a good record against Liverpool. Their last game they played against Liverpool, they got that defeat, and they are looking at making a revenge against Liverpool. I'm also tipping a Juventus against Tottenham Hotspur. So looking at the quarterfinal games, I'm tipping a Borussia Dortmund against Arsenal in that quarterfinal game, Bayern Munich against Bayern Leverkusen, and Real Madrid, that is Real Madrid against Manchester City, and I'm also tipping an Inter Milan against Sporting Lisbon. I'm tipping a Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea, and also a Barcelona against Newcastle, and I'm also tipping a Juventus against Tottenham Hotspur and Atletico Madrid against Juventus in the quarterfinals stage. So we'll come back when the quarterfinal, the knockout stage games are set, and we'll look at the draw for the quarterfinals. Thank you, subscribe and also like, and let us know in the comment section which teams are you tipping to get into the quarterfinal stage of the UEFA Champions League.